Okay, just picked up this Miata. The woman got rid of it because she said one of the cylinders was falling out, or one of the cylinders fell out, which I'm guessing meant misfire, which you can see it's misfiring. And I can definitely feel it's misfiring. So, let's see if we can get it home. Okay, a couple times a year, the school that I go to has an auction. We get donated cars. People just don't want their old cars and they'll donate them. They'll either not run or whatever. And based on what's wrong with it, we'll either use it for education and tear it apart and work on it, or we will try and resell it to get this program some money. So I bid on this car and I won it for $1,200. Alright, what's up? We got the Miata in the garage. I kind of right away started looking for the misfire and also just kind of, putting my hands on everything, checking it all out. It's got some problems. Right away, it's going to need a battery. Battery has been flat from it sitting for a long time. The misfire has to get taken care of. No one's going to drive it like that. It's only got 4 cylinders that don't make a whole lot of horsepower in the first place, so it's going to need all 4. And then on top of that, probably some miscellaneous stuff, but I think the car's in pretty good shape. I'm probably gonna do the valve cover gasket and the cam angle sensor O-ring because they are both leaking. The dash is not cracked. It's in great shape. All of the plastics of this car are in great shape. The wheel isn't all worn out. On the consoles, I think what happens a lot of times is you get pushed in and cracked. It is not. This carpet back here looks way better than mine. All really just kind of good shape. We do have 3 keys, which is awesome. Means I don't have to get a spare made. Unfortunately, there's a crack on the gauge cluster. Not really a big deal. But we got an ashtray. It did come with the cup holder, which is what I have equipped in mine. Mine actually has a nice little like rubber piece that goes. Oh wait! Oh, we do have an owner's manual. Cool. And then we have a comb. That's gross. All right, and in the trunk, we've got the goodies. We have the jack. We got a spare tire. It's carpeted. That battery's dead. Some other stuff. I think this is a top cover. Yeah, I'm about to go through all this and see what we have. Probably the biggest downside of the vehicle would be the wheels, just because they're, well, to be honest with you, a little tacky and dated. They might have been cool 20 years ago when I think they got them, but no. Another thing, there's clearly some rodents living in or around here. As you can see here, there's a little bit of gnawing, and then we have a repaired wire, which I'm assuming was chewed through. Then over here, if we look, this is just from the drive home. So as you can see, that's pretty clearly wet. So that gasket is dried up. That O-ring is probably gone on the crank angle sensor back here. The dipstick is broken. That's very common on Miatas. I just pulled codes with my little OBD2 reader, and we have a P0302, which is a cylinder 2 misfire detected, which is good because that gives us a specific cylinder to work with. So now we can go to cylinder 2 and see what's going on. Alright, I just checked the spark plug wire of cylinder number 2. The quick and dirty way to do that is basically, here, take this off, and then you stick something metallic in there with an insulated handle, because you will get hit with, tens of thousands of volts if you do get shocked. Don't worry, it won't kill you. It'll wake you up, though. And then you just see if it arcs, and if you get a good strong arc, then you're getting plenty of voltage all the way up to the spark plug. And we did. So I was kind of hoping it would be ignition related because it's easier than like something fuel or some other miscellaneous thing. Actually, I just found this tool. This is what this is really supposed to be for. You can hook this to a ground, stick that in the plug wire. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what that looks like. Alright, so as you can see, there is a little bit of lightning going on in there. Alright, here's the spark plug that I just pulled out. I mean, it's worn. Wow, that's like, it's got kind of a lot of... Oh. That black ring usually indicates a misfire, I believe. This is a weird looking plug. So, I'm going to measure the gap, and then I'm going to switch. And if the misfire follows, if the misfire goes to a cylinder 1 misfire, then it's chasing the plug, so we have an issue with the plug. And I don't know if I'll do a full tune-up or what. Those plug wires are not hot. You know, I got this car for very cheap, so there is some headroom. I want to do as little work as possible, but at the same time, you know, the car deserves a little something. Well, I put a Noid light on that. I swapped the plugs and cleared the code. I'm going to see if it comes back, and if it comes back as a cylinder 1, then I might put spark plugs in it. I don't know if I'll do a full tune-up. You know, every little bit counts. Okay, after doing a little research on that specific code, the P302, there was a long forum post about it, about a guy who said basically he went through a lot of components. Honestly, he never tested anything, and he never threw parts at it either, but eventually he found that the battery, the ground on the battery of his vehicle was an issue and causing basically just general electric issues, and obviously the ignition circuit relies heavily on a good 12-volt source. The battery on that Miata is dead, so we are going to replace it first and foremost, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I put a battery in it, pretty much had to. I got a battery from a place called Batteries Plus that just sells all kinds of batteries, including car batteries. The Miatas use this tiny little lawn and garden battery. And I paid like $150 for this, so it's pretty expensive. All batteries are getting really expensive. It's got the vents properly mounted, all that. But yeah, that was just something that had to happen. The battery went dead in this, so no one's going to buy a car with a bad battery, and that's not something I can just, you know, skimp out on, especially if I want it to be a daily driver. So, okay, other than the car starting on its own power, nothing has changed. So, moving on. NGK Blues. Doesn't even have new spark plugs, nothing. The spark plugs, I think, were just gnawed on by a rodent. And there it is. That's the solution. Just a new set, $40. And that's it. Alright, so now with our misfire issue fixed, the car is running and driving around great. And you know, we have a few more things that I'd like to take care of before I sell it. The vehicle has a mold issue. We got to register it and do a few other things. But thank you for watching. I think it's a great time to be selling a Miata right now. Leave any comments, questions below, and subscribe if you feel it. Thank you.